There are currently 96 leaders in the One Piece card game that can be played in the standard format. Some dominate the meta. Some have been forgotten. And some have never been given the chance to prove themselves. My goal is simple. Learn as many of them as possible. Master their strengths, expose their weaknesses, and discover which leader stands above the rest. Welcome to Leader Roulette. Yo, Nakama, how's it going? It's your boy K0zzee coming at you with our, just to make sure that we can even offer this deck as a recommendation for people to play. But more importantly, not my vote is the only thing that's going to be cast. See, at the end of it all too, I'm going to let you guys also decide what leader you liked the best and let them be the Cult of K0zzee's champion, or as I like to call it, the Cult's champion. And so what we'll do is we're going to keep playing, and then week after week, we're going to cast our votes. We're going to see who's going to be reigning supreme at the end of it all. But without further ado, let's let fate decide our first leader. I'm so excited. Let's see. Our first leader that we're going to be trying out is OP09 Purple Yellow Robin. I don't think I've ever played this leader before. But oh well, let's see how we do, and I'll catch you guys in my deck tech video for this particular leader. All right, welcome into our deck list for Leader Roulette with OP09's Purple Yellow Nico Robin. So Robin's basic ability is she has Banish. She's a 5,000 power 4 life leader. When attacking, we can trash one card with a trigger from our hand to add one Dawn from the Dawn deck and rest it. So ideally, kind of what I would like to see is a very trigger happy deck with some characteristics of life manipulation, Dawn manipulation, and kind of some more aggressive pressure in terms of tempo, either on board or through life, which kind of gave us this, which is mostly like kind of how Nami is like a blue-yellow slop. I picked a kind of like a purple-yellow slop with some discretion, because we didn't want to put everything that's good in yellow or everything that's good in purple into a deck and just say, here you go. So this is kind of what I've stumbled upon, and I actually kind of like the list overall, and I'm excited to see what it does in our 2 matches today. First up is 4 copies of Sanji from OP09, 7 cost, 7k power, a 1k counter. On play, we can return 1 or more Dawn to the deck to give this character rush and rest up to one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. So that is potentially a blocker and could be kind of like the final nail in a coffin to push for lethal. So I really liked it overall in this particular list, and we ramp anyway, so it's not really anything substantial. We can Dawn -1, attack with our leader, pitch a trigger, get that Dawn back, and we have a 7k rusher. 4 copies of Nico Olvia, 1 cost, 0 power, 2k counter. On play, we get to give our leader Nico Robin plus 3k power for the turn. And then the trigger is if our leader is Nico Robin, we get to draw 3, trash 2. So trigger, really great for filtering the hand. Counter, great for a 2k. And it's on play, making our leader an 8k Banish attacking swinger. Requires 2 cards, or they're just going to give up the life and not gain any resources out of it. Unless we're playing Yamato, who values putting stuff in the trash. I would be absolutely devastated if we did that. 4 copies of the Lilith Searcher. 1 cost, 2k power, 1k counter, with the on play and trigger doing the same thing of looking at the top 4 cards of the deck, grabbing a trigger, putting the rest at the bottom, and moving on with our day. I'm running 4 copies of Vasco Shot, who is a 1 cost, 2k power, 1k counter with an on KO and trigger effect of drawing 1 card and resting up to one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, which could shut down some potentially bigger swings unless they're going to swing with the bigger body first that we would target as a rest target for the trigger or even the on KO effect. Next up is 4 copies of Lafitte from OP16, a 1 cost, 2k power, 1k counter with an on KO and trigger effect of KOing one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Again, a really great tempo piece. Really great to kind of deter some different swings or making swings awkward, I feel, later in the game. I don't think I'll be playing them like on curve. So like turn 1 or turn 2, I won't be playing them most likely. But again, it's very matchup dependent. So if they play characters that are relatively low in power, I can use them to kind of clean up the board and get ourselves prepared for the bigger swings. Starting with the 3-cost 5k power Jesus Burgess from OP16, who has an on KO effect of add up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life to their hand, with the trigger of discarding 1 card to play this character. Great 5k body just to keep swinging and attacking. They're either going to have to give up cards in hand, they're going to have to give up characters on board, they're going to either keep doing that, or they're going to KO this character just to take the life early. Unless they're at 0 life and then they KO it with no consequence. But by then, I think they have a lot more problems than just a Burgess. So great card overall for this particular list. 4 copies of Baby 5. I run 4 copies of Baby 5 in Nami, and I thought it would do just as good in Robin. It's a 4-cost, 5k power, 2k counter, with the only effect being its trigger of, with our leader being multicolored, we draw 2 cards. Super easy. To maximize our trigger value, I want to start with the healing package. 3 copies of the 4-cost 6k power Roranora Zoro from OP15, whose on-play effect is trashing 1 card to heal 1 to the top of our life from the top of the deck. I felt 4 would have been too bulky and kind of puts us in an awkward position of playing them and then discarding cards. I think 3 is a very healthy balance for this list, and I'm kind of eager to see what it looks like. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Katarina Devan, a 4-cost 3k power 2k counter from OP16, with the effect, just like Bon Clay, of when attacking, we select one of our opponent's characters. Her base power becomes that character's power to the end of the turn, with a trigger of drawing 1 card to play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character with a cost of 1 from our trash. I don't think I'll really be using the trigger, only because I have only 2 2Ks in the deck, and I would much rather grab it in hand than risk potentially drawing a brick or drawing something that I can't use for counter. So the guaranteed counter is going to be there, but depending on the matchup, we may end up using it to kind of put a little bit more pressure on the board, but we'll see. Next up, 4 copies of Nico Robin from OP09, 6-cost, 6k power, 1k counter, with the on-play of if our opponent has 3 or more life, they trash the top card of their life, with the trigger of playing up to 1 cost 3 or less yellow character from our hand. First and foremost, character art, beautiful. The alternate art, perfection. But now that that's out of the way, we could play things like Jesus Burgess from trigger, a Lafitte from trigger, a Vasco from trigger, a Nico Olvia from trigger to make our leader a 8k body for the turn. So we have a lot of flexibility with the trigger, especially if our opponent's at 2 or less life. But if our opponent is at 3 or more, by the time this character comes down, we're slamming her. Every opportunity I get, I'm slamming her to make sure that we can really manipulate life in that regard, because they're going to have to counter out of the Nico Robin swing at that point. They don't want to give up 2 cards to trash, things like that. Back to the healing package, 4 copies of the OP16 Shiryu, 6-cost 8k power brick, with the on-play of trashing 1 card from our hand, add up to 1 Blackbeard Pirate type card with a cost of 6 or less from our trash to the top of the life face up, including Shiryu. So if we have 2 in hand, I can pitch 1 Shiryu to move it to the top of our life to get that trigger of drawing 2 more additional cards. We get a 6-cost 8k body on board, and we healed to really kind of potentially survive longer. I run 2 copies of the Nico Robin from EBO3, which is a 7-cost 8k body brick with the on-play of trashing 1 card from the top of our life to heal 2. So I like it in terms of survivability, but its on KO effect of dealing 1 damage to our opponent makes this character an evergreen 8k attacker. So they're going to have to give up at least 2 cards every time this character swings, and it's always just going to go to face. In my opinion, it's probably going to go to face like 95% of the time. So I really want to make sure that we can target it, we can push for it, but I felt 2 is enough in this list, just so that way we're not kind of bricking up in hand. In terms of characters for our last one, we are running 3 copies of the Marshall D. Teach from OP16, 8 cost, 10,000 power brick with the on play of looking at 3 cards from the top of the deck, add 1 to the top of the life, and then place the rest in any order. We do not have to show our opponent. And so with Blackbeard, I think 3 was enough. I don't think I would run a full play set of teaching this. And I'm kind of excited to see what we can draw out of it. His trigger is absolutely insane too. We can negate the effect of one of our opponent's characters during the turn. Then we can KO one of our opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So like, let's say they play Roger and they're at no life. They're going to swing something and we hit this in trigger to negate the Roger so we can use blockers that we don't have in the list. Absolutely sick. And I just thought of that and I just realized I don't have any blockers in this list. I'm going to be cooked. But oh well, I digress. Lastly, the 4 copies of Gum Gum Giant. Any purple Straw Hat leader, in my opinion, running 4 of this particular card at all times. Like, if I don't see 4 Gum Gum Giants in a purple Straw Hat list, I'm questioning people's sanity. 1 cost event. It's a counter event. Dawn -2. Trash 1 card from hand. Straw Hat leader gains plus 4K, and then we draw 2 cards. So we're replacing what we're getting rid of, which is the event and a card in hand, to draw 2 more to potentially get some counter, or even another Gum Gum Giant, or whatever the case is, just getting some additional resources. I think this list is a very well-rounded list. I think it's balanced. The only bad side to it is there are no blockers. So we're kind of just hoping to run it straight to face and make this a very aggressive deck. So with that, here's our Leader Roulette OP09 Purple Yellow Robin list. And I will catch you guys in match number 1. All right. Opponent number 1 is Shanks. I think we would want to, because we have a lot of even curve stuff. I can play Burgess Swing. I'm going to go second, take away their curve from it. Actually a pretty solid lineup. I'm actually going to keep this just because it's got some good 1-drops. I can play the Burgess Swing 6. Next turn play Robin Swing 2 5s. So we got a pretty good curve out, I think, for the next couple of turns at least. I can play the Lilith and I can play or hold the Lafitte maybe. Dawn Pass, okay. Let's go ahead and start with a Lilith search. Grab something with a trigger, right? I gotta bottom that. I can grab either 2K. I think I'm gonna grab the Devon because I only have 2. And I'll pass there. We play the Zoro, probably pitch Lafitte to heal. Or Burgess Swing. I'll give him the Lafitte. We're gonna play Burgess Swing. Play a Hongo. Okay. Let's start with a 6K. Trash a card with trigger. I'll do that to ramp a Dawn. I don't need another Lilith right now. See what if he uses leader effect 1K? Nope, gives me a straight 2K. Sure, Burgess. Pass. I'm surprised he didn't give me a 1K and just held the 2. Very odd. I don't know what he's thinking. He's gonna swing 6. Let's give him the Olvia and then pass. See if he plays like a blocker. He does. He plays a Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo KO something with 6K or less. So I want to save the Robin. I think we start with a 5 and see if he uses leader effect. He should use leader effect here. Yep. Let's go 5 with Banish. I'm going to discard the Vasco to ramp another Dawn. Puts us to 8. So next turn we go to 10. Blocks. Pops. So opponent's going to take a life. We're going to play Robin. Force them to trash a life. And we'll leave the 1 Dawn up. So we're sitting on 8. We're going to go to 10. Play the Zoro. Pitch whatever we get to go there. Plays another blocker. Trashes to draw. Okay. Then what? Swing 8? Sure. Yeah, let's get some cards. That's okay. So we're on 10, so we can play this. That's 7. 3 more Dawn. So go 7, 7. Play Zoro heal. Just a blocker. So we'll swing 7. We won't trash anything because we're already at the 10 Dawn. And kind of go from there. Okay, leader effect 2K. Swing 7. Still leaves me 7 Dawn. Blocks. We'll play Zoro. Crashes Zoro to heal. We'll play Burgess, and then we'll pass. We got 2Ks up. Which, maybe we'll see what happens. But now we have a ton of attackers. If we draw into like a Nami or a Teach, no, not Nami, Robin, Teach, something, or even Shiryu, that'd be great. I would love to see that right about now. Huh. He's on 9, so we have a ton of attacks coming. Got a lot of cards in hand too, to be honest. He rests the Hongo to minus 2K that. Okay. You gonna try and KO the Robin? To reduce the amount of swings you're getting? I mean, I can go 6, 5, swing a bunch with the Robin to banish. That could be another option. Maybe he played, no, because he's not at 10 Dawn, so he can't even cheat the Beckman with a Shanks. Swings 9 into 4. I'm not saving that. Plays a Rue. Not great. Let's see if he tries to save. It'd be bad if he uses leader effect here, and then just the free block doesn't matter. Uses leader effect there. Okay. I gotta swing with the Zoro first because he's gonna block with Lucky Roo. So let's go 6 here. He's got to give me a 2K, an event, or block. Because I don't know why we used leader effect here. Takes. We can go 8. Forces 2 2Ks. Maybe. Blocks with the Lucky Roo. He's going to KO the Zoro. That is correct. I still have 6 Dawn. We just go 11 with Banish. I'm not going to trash anything. Takes. And then we just pass. He goes to 10 with 1 life left. Not super great for him. Maybe he can play Beckman into Shanks. And then swing. That could be a possibility. Maybe. Not too sure. Beckman. Rested on. Play Big Shanks. That's fine. He's going to rest the Hongo to probably minus this, maybe. All he did was just swing 3 into 1. We can let that go. So I have to put 2. I have to put 3 to make it a 6. 8 into 5. We'll take. Sure. We'll get rid of the Hongo finally. Not going to really need it, and it saves me a swing. 12, I'll take. Shiryu is to draw 2, but I could put the... I don't have a Vasco, do I? I don't... Oh, I do. I do have a Vasco. I will not do that. I'm going to leave that in hand. And we get the teach. Okay. So at least we got our next couple of turns. So I need to put 4. Eesh. So I think we bait either the block or the leader effect first. And go from there. Leader effect. Cool. Let's go 8. You're going to give me the blocker or are you going to take the life? Blocker or life? Give me the blocker. Interesting. The trigger to draw one? That's fine. Shiryu, I'm going to trash the feet and put Vasco at the top. And I'll pass. This is so great. Like, what is this, bro? You have another Shanks? Because this is swinging 7. I'm going to dump it. 17. Because you can't swing at me. You have to clear the Burgess. And you have to swing with this or put another blocker up, maybe? If you put another blocker up, I'm just going to play the teach. Like, I'm still at a healthy-ish life total. And I can kind of pressure with the Shiryu and swing 9. Force 3 cards out of hand or one of the blockers. $12 into 4. You can have the Burgess. I'll make you take a life even though you don't have one. But it's good to just get into the habit of clicking it. Well. What are you going to do next? Plays Shanks. Okay. So you're a 7K body. I will use the trigger to rest. And then plays Uda blocker. That's fine. We'll do this. Use card action. Dawn -1. Return 0 optional. Rest. And then go 7, 7, 8. Yeah. 7. I will not trash anything because I don't need the rested Dawn. Okay, leader effect. Cool. Oh, he just concedes. He's bricked up, bro. We got lucky. Okay. Dub for us on Shanks. All right, let's queue up for the next one, and I'll catch you in game number 2. All right, we now are actually playing an OP16 meta leader. Black Yellow Teach. They already chose to go second, so we're going first. Not a great going first hand. No 1-drops, no 3. So I'm gonna send this back. And okay, we actually got the curve. We'll start with a Lilith to get a trigger. We bottom the rest. I have the heal. I don't really have anything going for us. I'll grab the 2K and I'll pass there. Let's see. We could just swing 5, bait a counter. Okay, there's the My Era. Hopefully he finds something dumb. Grabs a 1K Augur. Plays Augur. Field Leader, draw 1, give something -3K. Okay. I'll bait a 5. I will trash We could trash Vasco. A ramp. I think we just want to ramp here and just try to get ahead. Because now we go to 6, we can play Robin. Yeah, we can play Robin. We'll play that and we'll pass. Good old Burgess. So even if they KO the Burgess, like it is what it is. We can play the Robin first. And all right. Did we give up a 2K already? Maybe. Maybe not. I think we take this one. Ooh, it's a Shiryu. Do I draw the 2? So I'm going to play Teach. And then swing 5-5-6. Maybe. Yeah, we'll just draw. Look at Gum Gum. That's cool. Sanji's not really effective in this matchup. So... why do they all have plus? Oh. That makes more sense. We bait the 5. Do we really trash anything? Because we're on 6. We go to 8 next turn. Nah, I don't think we need to. I think the ramp is done for the moment. Trash the San Juan Wolf to probably hit a redirect. Rest and minus power. Okay. You're going to rest the Burgess. That's fine. Play Robin. And pass. Because he's on 6. We're also on 6. Thank God for ramping. Play Shiryu. Put something on the top of the life. But what does he really have? Leader becomes a 7K. Let's go no block. We could take this one. Bolivia. Draw 3, trash 2. We can trash a Teach and a Sanji. I mean, like, worst case scenario, we already have a Teach, so we can heal. Fine. 7 into 5, and you're going to take a life? Sure. Maybe if I find a Nico Robin, that would be great. Feet's not a bad option. Or I could play Zoro swing bigger. A Zoro swing bigger for Gum Gum Giant, and then save Teach. Just rests. We could start 6. See if they use leader effect. They did. Boom. Minus here. Oh, minus to my leader. Sure. Clear that off the board while we're at it. You gonna give me a 1K? Nope. That's fine. I wasn't gonna probably want to swing with the Robin anyway. We play Teach. With a cost of 3 or less. Search. Draw 1, play something. I think we put that to the top of the life, send everything else back, and we'll pass. So now we know we got Lilith. That's a plus at least. What is he? I mean, he has to play Teach, right? Wings 5 probably to Lilith, or 5 to face. 5 into Lilith. Sure, bud. Because I'm swinging the Robin first next turn. Teach. Grabs a trigger. Okay. So I'm on 10. I can do that to heal. That leaves me 6 Dawn. 5 Dawn. Because I want to keep the Giant up. That's 5 Dawn. 3-2. Yeah. Go 8. What dumb thing did you put in life? Plays the Augur from Katarina Devon's trigger. Okay. That leaves me 5 Dawn. Yeah. Bring another 8. Don't need to trash anything. He's got to redirect this to probably like the teach or something. Or he just swings big into my teach. I'm going to swing that big thing next. And just sling it. You know? Yep, redirects it. Minus 3k here. Still the end of the turn, yeah? Yeah. We'll swing 7. Gonna give me 2 cards? Does give me 2 cards. Cool. We'll play the Zoro. We'll pitch a Lafitte to heal. And we'll pass it with 1 Dawn up for the Gum Gum Giant. He doesn't really have a whole lot to deal with. Nico Robin off the top would be sick. The 7 drop. I think that would be something we can aim for. 10 to 6. I'm gonna make you probably work for it. Yeah, I'm gonna make you work for it. Pitching probably Lilith to buff and then give you a 1k. I like that. Plays Blocker Beard, so he's gonna nullify that. 5 into 5. We get the Vasco. Yeah, we'll draw 1. We'll just rest. Why not? Not like we have anything else to do. Back to 10. And that Teach can't attack, which is fine. So one of these two aren't swinging with the Vasco. One of these is getting blocked. Now we're kind of in a pickle. 3. That gives me 7 between 2 attacks. 7 between 2 attacks would be 4, 3. So 9 and 9. Let's invest it in the Robin. Let's go 9. Force the leader effect early. Yep. Vasco. The rest of the Zoro. We'll swing another 9 to get blocked. We won't trash anything. And then we will play out a Burgess. Just put more bodies on board. He's got to play another Blackbeard blocker, I think. But even if he does that, do I make you work for it is the thing. Go no block. I guess I could have given the 1k. I'm dumb. So no teach. Unless it's Zehaha. He could Zehaha still. Grabs it. So he's going to play it to play the Blackbeard. Sure. Okay. Now we're kind of in trouble. Because now he can't swing again. 6 here. I can give up a 1k. I guess it kind of worked out in the end. 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 11. You can finally have the Robin. I don't really care. Still not really drawing a whole lot. He has 1 card. Or 2 cards in hand. But he's got so much attack power. Do I just go for broke? What is that? +6? That would be 11. Then I go 12, 13, 14. And hope those are bricks. But he just redirect it too. I'll start 5. See what he does. He's got a blocker and a redirect. But I'm not sure. He gives me a 2K. He's gonna block here or redirect. He takes. He has 3 swings. I only got 3 life. He has 4 swings. So I think I just go for broke, right? Go 15. I won't trash anything. Swing 15. See if he gives me a blocker or... Oh, he just takes. That is okay. I think I have enough counter if he just baits a swing. Hachinosu. But what are you going to do after? Oh, I mean, I guess it depends on what he grabs, right? What do you grab? You grab an auger. 5 here. And then it swings big. Sure, you can take a life. So 3 swings. He's kind of hoping I don't have the counter. Is that what he's kind of banking on? Or is he just going to block her up and try to posture? 10 to 6. Well, I mean, I don't die here now. So I go 2-2-2 or 2-2-1. 2, 2, 1. Now I gotta force you to use the teach. But he still has a block and a redirect. Or he could have 2 blocks and a redirect. That's fine. I have no way to save it. I think we're cooked here, to be honest. Plays another teach blocker. This feels bad. Why not? You just happen to see all of them. Yep, pitch, discards, pass. Still has 4 swings. 12. Can't do nothing about it. Keep it. Can't do nothing about it. We can draw 2 cards though. Both of them will happen to just be counter. Not great counter, but counter nonetheless. No block. And most we can get to is 11. That's just how it rolls. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the analysis and get our yellow-purple Robin scored out. OP09 Nico Robin's trial by combat has come to an end. When fate selected Nico Robin, I wasn't sure what to expect. She's a leader that doesn't see much competitive play in the OP16 format. But Leader Roulette isn't just about the meta kings. It's about discovering what leader is capable of, even given certain circumstances to prove themselves. After 2 battles against the current meta, it's time for the verdict. In performance, Robin performed very well and overall with a combat record of 1 win and 1 loss. She managed to secure a victory against OP09's Shanks, but ultimately fell to OP16's Blackbeard. That earns Nico Robin a performance score of 1 point. Consistency. Despite the mixed results, Robin's game plan functioned more often than not. The deck was able to do what it wanted to do throughout the trial and never felt completely lost. This earns Nico Robin a consistency score of 1.5. For meta viability, while Robin showed she can compete, I don't believe she's currently a major threat in the OP16 meta. She feels more like a locals level deck that something you wouldn't be too confident of taking to a regional, which gives her a meta viability score of 1. Accessibility. Robin's game plan is fairly approachable. There are certain decisions to make, but the deck isn't overly punishing and can be picked up by most players willing to invest some time to learn it. This earns Nico Robin an accessibility score of 1.5. Lastly, under recommendations, while I had fun with the deck, I think Robin is a recommendation primarily for players who enjoy the character or are looking for something different from the established meta. That earns Nico Robin a recommendability score of 1 point. So, what does that leave for OP09 Nico Robin? Giving her a total of 6 overall points. 6 out of 10 is not bad for our first episode. Robin proved she can win games and execute her strategy, but ultimately falls into the category of a playable deck with noticeable limitations in today's meta. With that final score of 6, OP09 Nico Robin enters our roulette leaderboard standings at number 1. Not a bad showing for our first challenger, but there are still 95 leaders remaining, and now the question becomes, how long will Robin hold her place before another challenger takes it away? The official verdict has been delivered, but the Colt always has the final word. What would you score OP09's Nico Robin based on today's performance? Cast your Colt's score in the comments below, and if enough of the Colt believes Nico Robin deserves more, she could truly become our very first Colts champion. Now that the first leader roulette has been complete with Nico Robin, we're going to let fate decide who our next leader is going to be. And so, with the handy dandy spin of our wheel here, fate is going to decide that we shall play. Ooh. Actually, one of the decks that I actually used to play. So, OP13 Black Emu. I can dig it. And with our next leader decided, I do want to say shout out to everyone that's made it all the way through this first leader roulette. And I want to say, I will catch you guys in the next upload, and may fate bless our next spin. Peace and love, y'all.
Thanks for riding with the vibe. Cozy games every time. Pulling leaders, making plays on the line. Sailing through the grand line, strategy refined. Catch your next match, stay locked